On today's Minute of the Apes, is it just me or has Virgil turned into Gaping Ape Part 2?
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
Divine bomb.
The only good human is a dead human! Where there is fire, there is smoke.
The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes. The minute of the apes.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. It's a Monday morning. I know that I'm Todd, guy with the Mr. Robot hat on. What's your name again?
Not Richard. I get
No.
By process of elimination, that makes me Sean.
Process of elimination. Is that what we're to now, that we just have to look at each other and we go away? Because the man we're getting to is the man who's groaning a little bit today about a workout apparently he had yesterday. And I asked him to hold on to a story. He started telling us about something that... Can you tell that story briefly without getting into names or anything, in case this lovely young gentleman were to ever come across this and go, wow, I just got dinged on Minute of the Apes?
Oh, no, it was... So I'm a little sore today. There was a workout yesterday. I'm amazed sometimes at what, at 51, I put my body through and what I can do now, that I wasn't doing 10, 20 years ago. But that doesn't mean it doesn't come without a price of being sore. I mean, when you work out as hard as me and a lot of my peers at CrossFit and other gyms do, there's a soreness that comes along with it. JJ's sore frequently from doing all the squats or whatever workout we're doing. Yesterday was a partner workout, and I paired with one of the other competitive athletes, and the owner of the gym and this other kid and these other two competitive athletes. It was kind of like, multiple teams, but the three of us were kind of vying for first in this kind of fun little gym throwdown.
Right.
And during my team came in second, and one of the dudes that came in third at the end of the workout came in third at the end of the workout goes, "Man, what happened to me?" And I'm like, "What do you mean what happened?" He goes, "Man, you started walking on that run, and I was worried about you, and I just didn't know what was going on." I was like, "Are you coming for me?" Like, you came in third. We came in second. We still whooped your ass. I mean, I guess he thinks so highly of me that he felt like he needed to be a little kind of competitive on this, little bit of a dick. And he's also like 25 years younger than me, so I'm like his dad out there kicking his ass in a CrossFit workout. It was just I was a little put out by it. Okay, clearly.
From a musician standpoint, there's an unspoken rule that when you show up someone else's gig, you don't ever walk up and go, "Man, what you're doing doesn't work." You don't do that. You just don't. You're always kind and cordial. Even I have been to places where I have been outclassed by musicians, and I've been to places where I've been infinitely better than them. And I treat every one of them like, "Man, you're killing it." Because the truth is, I think to the extent where you work out, you're putting yourself out there and you're trying something and you're going,
Yeah.
"What the fuck? Shut up."
What happened? What does that mean? What?
Well,
I guess I'm flattered that he thinks me highly enough that he knows that I can do better.
Push yourself harder.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I was in some pain.
I'm glad you're flattered, because I'm going to say on our shared podcast, "Hey, dickhead, next time don't treat my friend like that. He kicked your ass." That's the end of the story. So here we are. We are at minute 61. Sean, tell us what's going on.
All right, we start minute 61 with Virgil still spying from the trees and ends with General Aldo saying, "Our city is being."
All right, let's take a listen to minute 61 with Gaping Ape Virgil.
Where are you going? Martial law has been declared. Everybody is to stay in their homes.
By whose orders?
Go home. We want guns. Guns are power. Now we go and get guns. Mandimous.
Who's there?
Aldo. General Aldo.
What do you want?
Guns. Guns.
What will you do with them?
We shall do with them what we will.
Do what you will is the devil's law.
Who are you, Mandimous? God?
I am the keeper of Caesar's conscience.
And I am the keeper of Caesar's army.
Under allegiance to Caesar. Where is he?
Mandimous, as I speak, our city is being attacked.
As of minute 61, we have a village's worth of apes and humans, plus a ghost city worth of radioactive people, and still no Ricky.
All right, so let's start off the top with Virgil
your
gaping through.
tease. Yeah. What?
Because there's really no other way of looking at it, and you've got these. It's not even the same director where we got Gaping Ape. It's a different situation, and they felt the need to position him through trees. Now I get it that Virgil's supposed to be kind of looking upon it in shock and terror of what he's seeing.
So he's. Is he supposed to be hiding to a certain sense? Like they don't have a building that he can peer around behind. They're using trees as a way of peering through things.
I mean,
it just seems a little awkward. And
Well, on top of that, I mean, it feels like that scene from Top Secret where Val Kilmer is crawling through the grass and he looks up and sees a pair of boots, and then he looks up and nobody's there. How did General Aldo sneak up on Virgil? Virgil literally 3 feet from him, sneaking over and then turns. It's like if Richard snuck up on me right now.
I really thought kind of the same thing. I was trying to think, how do you shoot this to have the same thing but allow Aldo to actually have a moment of shocking you? To me, if Virgil is standing behind one of those massive trees within the ape village and he's just peering around this way, and then when he turns to leave that way, there's Aldo. That even works better than this, because these trees are just kind of in the open.
Branches, yeah.
They're not even thick. I don't know how he believes that he's hiding. And then again, why does Virgil have to hide to look at what's going on?
They're not rounding up any other apes, so the apes, while they would be concerned that this is going on, there's no need for secrecy.
We can assume that Aldo, or I would assume that Aldo knows that Virgil is besties with Caesar, and therefore he's kind of paying more attention to him.
Right.
But that doesn't explain why Aldo would be sneaking around as much. He should be able to walk down the street and see what's going on.
So then we jump over to a tilt down shot of 4 gorillas as they raise their swords, cut to a different angle of that, and Aldo steps in an incredibly tight close-up of him. And I love this set of shots. The shots 100% tell us that they're ready to go to war, that they are militant, and that he is, once again, using his very abbreviated dialect to just...
Well, so the moment with Virgil and Aldo and the gorillas isn't in the script.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It goes straight from the rounding up of the humans to Aldo and the gorillas swarming the armory where Mandimous is. The Mandimous dialogue with Aldo is all verbatim, but that entire part about where you going, martial law has been declared, by whose order, and he yells, "Go home," and "We want guns, guns are power." Wasn't really in this particular part of the script, or I couldn't even find it anywhere. I was going to kind of go back on the fact that, we have Aldo repeating kind of the same lines he did around the fire. We want guns, guns are power. But then we gave him a complex word like martial law to say. So it was just a little unusual to hear him use "Where are you going? Martial law has been declared." This kind of complete normal conversation. Then jump back to "We want guns. Guns are power." I do like it. I love the fact that he tells him to go home.
Yeah.
He does that kind of...
He doesn't answer the question of why he gets to declare martial law.
He just, "Go home." But it made me, that kind of very gruff barking, for some reason reminded me of in Escape when... Roddy did the cheek puff thing, as the kind of the death thing, that just sudden emotion just came out. That's what made me think of when I saw Aldo going, "Go home." I was like, oh, that actor's channeling something right there.
And Paul Williams got a little ape action in it too. Whenever he kind of like hisses at him right before he leaves.
Yeah, there are a lot of things I like in this. I don't want to pick on the gaping ape thing, except that it is just oddly repetitive. I am brought of mind, Richard wasn't here last week when I'll tease one of the interviews that we have coming to celebrate everything, and that's that we get to talk to Bobby Porter, who plays Cornelius. And Did you get to listen to that interview? So one of the fun things he actually said was what a pussycat that Claude Akins was, is that he just was the single sweetest man on the face of the earth. And I love those people that, you find out are just as sweet as they can be, but can step on screen and rah.
Yeah.
And he has that power. Beneath that makeup, he's able to completely convey a simplistic anger that is absolutely needed in this.
And we talk about that we want guns are power. When we're getting that shot of him and that close up, the makeup is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I love the light in his eyes that you're bouncing off of his eyes. You can see that light there that just kind of and the eye makeup underneath it is just
and they
perfect.
put just a little bit of something on it to catch the light so it looks sweatish. I would assume that apes sweat.
Well, and it also matches the shine that's coming off the actual makeup itself.
It just looks really good for this tight shot of him and we want guns are power. Even though if it's a repetitive line, we could see a little bit of his teeth. I mean, that's the only thing if you're really kind of looking
When they shoot,
closely there.
yeah, when it's too well lit and they shoot too close to the mouth, you can see in it. Yeah.
Can you? I wonder if back then, I know now you probably have a ton of stuff besides digital that you could black out teeth if you were doing this prosthetic stuff.
Probably would. They'd
I
probably
wonder
go
if there
back
was some kind of grease stuff that saliva would not wash off. So then we cut over and we're to Mandimus's hut.
Well, let me ask one
yes.
question about this because I'm not going to go back and replay 60 minutes prior to this film. Have the gorillas not had guns up to this point at all?
No.
That we've seen, no.
No. Okay. When they're walking around everything, there are no guns at all.
They've got their swords. I mean, because remember, whenever when they were out camping, that's how he cut down the tree. He had his little bayonet sword.
All right,
they didn't have any guns there.
I just, for some reason, it felt like they at some point had like a rifle or a gun at some point. It might just be
when they came riding into school, they just busted up the joint. They didn't shoot anybody. They were chasing down the teacher. So no, we've never seen. Whenever they grabbed everybody coming back from the dead city, they didn't have guns there. And the apes the gorillas that were on patrol that got blown up, they didn't have any guns.
I know I said that this wasn't in the script. The only thing that I found, and I think Claude Akins' Aldo is fantastic in this moment. It's the only thing I found really awkward about it, besides the Virgil between the trees, is the swords popping up, the little cheap little toothpick-looking swords they had. I was like,
I love
that was a little weird.
Well, what I find, and I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to cue up the moment so we can actually listen. Come on, thank you. So it's right here, and it's a tilt down, and we've got four girls as they put their shiny bayonets up. They put bayonets up, and what does he say?
We want guns. Guns are power.
Okay, if he says that, why are you showing power with swords? I find that juxtaposition kind of weird.
Okay.
That
Maybe that's why I thought it was awkward. I just
you're
tiny-
showing power with this, but you're saying that's power.
Look
Right.
how small our penises are. We need bigger penises.
Well, if you'd had Aldo push one of the swords or bayonets down,
Or
like,
maybe
this
they
is not
all
enough.
threw their, yeah,
They
exactly.
throw them down or something. He's like, no, we need guns. Guns are power.
Exactly. That's what it should be, is that, we're about to be, he knows, he's got information, even though it came rather ham-fistedly to him, but he's got information that mutants are on the march. They're coming, they're armed. He needs more than that. That should be exactly it. Instead of showing power with the bayonets, take them and throw them away.
So we have we then are going to Mandimous, right? We're back at the hut. It is nighttime again. Did they just shoot the same scene at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
And in editing, they made it look like it went from daytime with the beginning of this minute with Virgil as daytime, and then they seem to
gets a little dark.
They shift to like a twilight moment, like an evening moment.
Yeah.
So they can go to night right afterwards.
Yeah, 100% that it's funny you mentioned that, how they're going to do every scene that takes place in a location at a certain time, whatever it is, they're going to shoot on that same day or two while that's set up.
Yeah, because this way you only have Mandimous for
The one
2 or 3
day,
days.
yeah.
Right.
Because you have the outside scenes where you shoot, and then you've got the inside scene where them.
But we go back to Virgil's Gaping Ape, and all I could think was, why is he doing this in this weird little tree setup? Why didn't they have Paul Williams on the set when they were on that massive location and shoot this? That's a production manager, to me, not coming through and saying, couldn't we put all this here?
Yeah.
I do like the lighting and how almost abstract it is when we cut to Aldo outside of the hut, because when it first goes to him, Mandimus's hut